Shu Qian's way of revealing his divinity in front of others is a bit too fashionable and innovative for them, and has also caused a huge impact on their hearts, compared to senior brother Yang, who only repeats, "There's no one like me in the world." It appears to be of inferior quality. Chu Wei pursed her lips. Her bright almond eyes followed that figure, until he entered the golden bowl. The big-eyed beauty still couldn't shake off the impression of the previous scene. Yang Qianwan's whole body convulsed in pain, muttering repeatedly, "So it can be done this way." In the eyes of countless citizens in the capital, in the eyes of the high-ranking officials and nobles of Dafeng, drinking boldly. Bravely accept the challenge. Why is it that just by immersing myself in it, I feel my brain tremble in waves? This is the pinnacle I strive for. Unexpectedly, he achieved it with ease. No, this was supposed to be my chance. Supervisor, you misled me. The painting projected in midair. At the foot of the towering mountain, appeared a man dressed in a night watchman's uniform. Shu Qian summarized his recent public display of power, while looking around. That act of showing off, I give myself 99 points, missing 1 point because it feels a bit awkward, but, as long as I pretend not to be awkward, then it is a flawless 100-point masterpiece. At this moment, Master Du's compassionate voice resounded, echoing in the audience's ears. In this battle of magic, rising to the mountaintop, after reaching the temple at the mountaintop, if you still refuse to eat the food of Buddha, then we admit defeat. The first challenge is the 8 sufferings array, the 8 sufferings of life: birth, aging, illness, and death, parting from loved ones, meeting with hatred, unattainable desires. The 5 aggregates blazing, only those with a determined mind are qualified to climb the mountain. Continue to accept the trials of Buddhism. Dafeng has 3 chances to challenge. Shu Qian spread his thoughts and sensed for a moment. He didn't detect any sign of life around him, no insects, birds, or beasts. He began climbing the mountain with doubts. Shu Qian stepped onto the stone steps. The moment he entered the formation, the steps under his feet turned into a mire. He got caught off guard and sank in. Shu Qian instinctively struggled, but that only made him sink faster. In just an instant, he was swallowed up, no longer showing any signs of life. Who knows how much time had passed? Maybe it was just a moment. Shu Qian vaguely heard the cry of a baby. The cry tore through the darkness. He saw a colorful wall. A nurse holding a newborn baby, wiping his body. The child slowly grows up, after experiencing the happiest childhood. He is forced to go to school. Year after year of school, heavy coursework dominated his youth. He finally made it to graduation. He joined the workforce, working day and night. In order to save enough for a house down payment, he worked tirelessly day and night. Finally, he made the down payment for a house, but the 30-year mortgage. It was also at this moment that the young boy grew into an uncle, either forced or willingly taking over the baton from his parents, becoming the person he most despised as a child. Whether it was in the education of the next generation, even the unintentional preachings, all perfectly matched his former self. Shu Qian became increasingly numb, and began a life of solitude. In the end, he lay on his sickbed. This moment, Shu Qian actually felt a sense of relief, as if he could finally rest. A cycle has ended. Shu Qian's desire to enter the monastic life grew stronger. Is this the suffering of life? Birth, aging, illness, and death, separation from loved ones, encountering those you resent, unfulfilled desires, the flourishing of the 5 aggregates. What is the meaning of such a life? In the cycles of reincarnation, a voice in Shu Qian's heart kept saying, "Rest. This life has no meaning. Let go of all this and you'll be free." In the square, Chief Minister Wang Zhenwen suddenly sat up. 8 sufferings array. This array is used by high monks to temper their Buddhist hearts. If a warrior is trapped and cannot break the formation, it will lead to a shattered mind, rendering them a cripple. If they pass through safely, it means they possess Buddha nature. Then you take the opportunity to convert them to Buddhism. Master Du, what a skillful move, to strike at the dignity of our Dafeng like this. Are you truly not afraid of our million elite soldiers? Master Du chants the Buddha's name, with a calm tone. Adhering to Buddhism is also a kind of providence. On the Bagua platform, Emperor Yuanjing, dressed in a Taoist robe, stood on the edge overlooking the square. I have heard of this formation. Posture correct. How powerful is this 8-suffering formation? The inspector drinks some wine and explains to Emperor Yuanjing, it's not a matter of power. It is a particularly tormenting formation. If a young child enters the 8 sufferings formation, they can easily get out, but the more experienced and weathered a person is, the harder it is to break the formation. In Buddhism, this 8 sufferings formation is used by monks to temper their minds. Some have gone through the test, and their minds have become more complete. Some have fallen into the 8 sufferings, and their Buddha heart has shattered. Emperor Yuanjing was instantly stern. Even the high monks of Buddhism are like this, let alone him. His face darkened instantly. If this battle is lost, the originally equal alliance will become tilted. In the various pavilions in the square, the dignitaries' faces changed instantly. The noblewomen and young ladies who were just there for fun also put away their playful attitudes. No longer joking, Baobao suddenly became nervous. Her peach blossom eyes widened slightly and tilted upwards. In the formation, Shuqian, the thought that lured him into becoming a monk continued to grow, quickly eroding his will to survive. But suddenly he shuddered instinctively. A thought of firm self-belief surged instantly. Shu Qian realized that his thinking was problematic. It felt like he had schizophrenia, and at this moment, 2 consciousnesses collided within his body. He held his head in pain. Shu Qian's impotent rage, forcing himself to think of something else. For example, Fu Xiang's snow-white buttocks. Suddenly, a beautiful figure instantly occupied Shu Qian's mind. He unexpectedly sobered up temporarily, but before he could rejoice and cheer, a thought entered Shu Qian's mind. That's the voice of Monk Shenshu. There are 3 ways to break this formation. Shu Qian just opened his mouth to ask, but Shenshu immediately interrupted him. Do not respond. Don't think about things related to me. Just listen to me. This formation is used by Buddhist practitioners to refine their state of mind. There are 2 outcomes for those who enter: a clearer state of mind or a shattered one. Not a member of the Buddhist sect. If one can endure the 8 suffering array, it means they possess Buddha nature. Shu Qian suddenly understood. No wonder I had thoughts of entering the Buddhist path. The Buddhist sect is trying to destroy my will. The thoughts of the monk Shenshu come again. Besides the above 2 methods, there is another way. That is to break the formation with the power of all beings. But monk Shenshu stopped speaking. He instinctively wanted to ask. It was just the survivor's instinctual caution. He immediately terminated all thoughts, but with just this one thought, Shu Qian's originally clear mind began to cloud again. If he falls into the cycle once more, it will be impossible to regain his sanity on his own. What awaits him is nothing but a shattered state of mind. Think quickly. The 8 sufferings of life require the power of all living beings to overcome. This is clearly not a skill a warrior should possess. Shu Qian reviewed all his techniques. Suddenly, an inconspicuous image surfaced in his mind. Sword intent. The sword intent that Chu Yuan Town taught me uses one's own emotions as power, channeling it into the sword and unleashing it. My emotions are indeed very bad right now, but it's still not enough to break the 8 sufferings formation. But if I think differently, why do I have to use my own emotions? Using others' emotions to nurture sword intent. Once this idea emerged, it couldn't be stopped. He closed his eyes and used the secret technique taught by Chu Yuan Zen to sense emotions. Those were the emotions of the onlookers from the capital. This ocean of emotions was mainly filled with tension and anger. Shu Qian immersed himself in the sea of emotions, absorbing the anger. Gradually, an overwhelming fury rose from his heart. He unconsciously pressed the scabbard, as if to draw the sword.